Hello, how are you doing? I hope you're having an amazing day and welcome back to another video about smartphone gimbals. Today, we're taking a look at the new DJI OM7P and this other one which is the Hohem iSteady M7. They are a bit different, but these are the two gimbals that I've been using the most lately, and I want to compare the features that they have so you have a better idea of which device is a better option for you. And I want to make it clear that none of these companies are paying me to say anything good or bad about these products, and as always, everything that I say in this video is my own opinion. The OM7P is a compact gimbal that you can fold down like this to make it easier to carry around. It actually fits inside my pockets, and when I need to use it, it actually takes just a few seconds to have it ready for the action. This gimbal has a low weight of around 400 grams and the maximum payload is 300 grams. The iSteady M7 is a bigger gimbal that has a traditional design. This has a few benefits that I will discuss in a few minutes, but the downside is that this is the size that this gimbal has and there is no way to make it more compact. You can fold the arms like so for easier transportation, but this is not something that will fit inside my pockets. The M7 has a weight of 650 grams plus the weight of the tripod. It's not really that bad, but the motors are stronger than the ones on the OM7P, and it will support smartphones up to 500 grams, so you can use external lenses or mount other devices that you would not be able to with a compact gimbal, like an external microphone or a small camera like this. The bigger size also means that the M7 has a bigger battery life, and it will last for about 12 hours. The one on the OM7P will last for 10 hours, and these two gimbals can be used to charge your smartphone, although the OM7P needs the multifunction module attached and the gimbal needs to be on. These two gimbals have a built-in extension rod that can extend up to 20.5 centimeters or 8.5 inches. This is something that has become very useful not only for vlogging videos, but for those who want to be able to show more of the background in their videos. The extension rod can also be used for low-angle shots to have a different perspective, or if you need some extra height. You can use a tripod or a monopod with these gimbals, but the OM7P has a built-in tripod which is very convenient because you won't have to worry about using or carrying one of these. This helps to make this even more portable, but these legs are not long enough to be used if it's very windy outside or if the surface is not even. And most of the times, I had to use a regular tripod because I didn't want my phone to fall down to the ground. I guess we're going to have to wait until the OM8 comes out in a year or two to have a better built-in tripod down there. Being able to control your gimbal from a distance has become an important feature for solo content creators. The DJI OM7P can be controlled remotely with an Apple Watch. You are getting a live preview of the camera, and you can use the watch to start or stop recording or to take a picture, and use other functions like a joystick to move the camera around. You can recenter the smartphone, and you can turn the tracking on or off. The functions that you can use can feel limited. I mean, they are the basic ones, but I don't find myself using it that much because it has some lag and sometimes it drives me crazy. And of course, not everyone has an Apple Watch. On the iSteady M7, you can remove this section, which now becomes a remote control with a full color display that is touch enabled. And here, you're going to be able to change almost every single setting. It's a clever design that gives you access to all the controls of the gimbal, like the joystick, the zoom lever, the shutter button, and this other one on the right side works exactly as a trigger on the gimbal. So this doesn't depend on an Apple product, and I gotta tell you that this doesn't have any lag. The OM7P has a new multifunction module, very similar to the AI module that we have on the iSteady M7. Both of them have a fill light which is bright enough for those situations where you might need some extra light. You can change the brightness level and the temperature as well, but the M7 can also be used in RGB mode, which can be helpful for some creative shots. The module on the OM7P can be paired with one or two DJI mic mini transmitters, so you don't need to buy or plug the receiver on your phone, but the module needs to be connected to the smartphone using a USB-C cable, and it doesn't support other microphones like the DJI Mic 2. If you want to use this or any other wireless mic with the M7, you just have to plug the receiver on the smartphone like this. And last but not least, the main feature that these two modules have is the tracking sensor. The tracking works without the Mimo or the Hohem app, and this means that you can use any app that you want to use inside your phone. But the best part is that this is going to work regardless of the device that you have, so iPhones and Androids are going to be able to take advantage of this technology. And it doesn't matter if your phone is the newest one or if you have an older version, unless you're using something like this. I'm not trying to judge, but you probably won't need a gimbal with this. Anyway, the tracking doesn't need a Bluetooth connection or any cables between the gimbal and your phone, and both modules can be used in horizontal or vertical mode, or you can flip it around to face forward or backwards to take advantage of the front camera or the one in the back of the phone, which in most cases does have a higher image quality. Using gesture controls can activate the tracking, start or stop recording, or change the composition to track your subject in a different position. And depending on the type of content that is being recorded, I found that using the joystick to recompose is much easier. Tracking sensors in general do have a big limitation where you can only track a person. Hohem knew this and they made it possible to have a live view of the sensor on the main screen. This can give you a better idea of the composition if you're using this as a remote control, which is already something amazing to have. But this also makes it possible to double tap on the person that you want to track, and guess what? You can also tap on animals and objects to start tracking them. The sensor on the OM7P cannot do that, so if you need to track an object or an animal, you are going to need to use the DJI Mimo app to be able to select the tracking on the screen of your smartphone. Side by side, these two gimbals seem to do a great job with objects, but the M7 can do so with any app that you want, and that alone is a big advantage. The difference of having a gimbal versus not having one for the stabilization can be seen in these two videos where the camera stabilization is not active. In that sense, these two gimbals will do an excellent job no matter if you're walking or running. They will help to keep the horizon straight, and they can make your videos look smoother when you're doing different movements. Although I have to admit that the heavier weight and stronger motors makes the M7 feel easier to get used to when I try to make slower movements. And compact gimbals have a limited range of motion on the tilt axis, and this is the case on the OM7P. Gimbals that have a traditional design like the M7 have a much wider range of movement, and this makes the M7 easier to use for some movements, for example, tilt reveal shots or crane shots. The OM7P now has a bigger display than the OM6, the gimbal mode icon is more visible, and you can see a battery level indicator, but you can't beat the display that you get on the M7. The gimbal mode is easy to read, it's more visible, and letters can be more intuitive instead of having a set of icons. To change the gimbal modes, you can quickly select them on the screen, and there is even a custom mode that can lock or unlock all the axes that you want. On the left side, they have a wheel that can be used to zoom in or out, or you can use to manually focus if that's something that you want to use. You can also use Inception mode to make the camera spin clockwise or counterclockwise. The OM7P has a very limited rotation. The iSteady M7, once again thanks to the traditional design that I mentioned before, does have an infinite rotation, but it has to be used in a horizontal position like this, and you can change the speed of the rotation, but it can only rotate clockwise. But let's not confuse the Inception mode with the panning rotation. The iSteady M7 can pan over 360 degrees, and the OM7P can only pan up to 280 degrees. I am really glad that DJI decided to implement this multifunction module on the new OM7. It makes the gimbal more flexible than before, and I don't feel like I need to use the Mimo app anymore unless I need to track objects. This is a great device if you want portability, you can have it ready to use in just a few seconds, and it just feels like a very reliable gimbal. But the iSteady M7 is also a great choice if you don't mind the size and the weight. The big screen and remote control combo are a game changer, and even though the M7 is more expensive than the OM7P, you're going to get some unique features that you're not going to find in any other gimbal. If price is a big factor and you find these two gimbals to be over your budget, you can also consider the Hohem iSteady V3. It's also a compact gimbal that has an AI tracking module, a built-in tripod, and it also has a detachable remote control. You know what? It would be nice if this had a screen like the one on the M7. Wouldn't you want something like that? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, the links for these products are going to be in the video description, and if you use them, it will support the channel. Don't forget to give this video a like. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I hope to see you again in a few days. Bye.